Hello everyone, my name is Alexis DeBlasio and I'm going to be talking about the Tide Pod Challenge crisis today. So what is the Tide Pod Challenge? This challenge was first started by a YouTuber who titled his video, Tide Pod Challenge, Eating Actual Bleach. No one usually just eats actual bleach, but for some reason this became a challenge to other kids. The Tide Pod was actually labeled the forbidden snack, jokingly, because the bright colors and the squishy feel made them look like a sweet treat. Because of this challenge, there were hundreds of reported poison control calls between December 2017 and by the end of 2018. These pods, when they were originally created, kids 5 and under were actually eating them. So Tide decided to wrap these pods in a bitter tasting plastic. That way it would deter children from eating the whole thing or eating more than just a bite. And when ingested, this can do a lot of damage. It burns the esophagus and the stomach lining. It causes vomiting and gagging, burns and abrasions to the face and eyes when you bite into it and it explodes in your face. Possible lung irritation can lead to the need of a ventilator for the rest of your life, and death. Death is more commonly seen in children 5 and under and the elderly, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. So how was this crisis handled? Well, Procter & Gamble did a really good job on using a good social media platform. They pressed YouTube and Facebook to remove these Tide Pod Challenge videos. They issued PSAs, press statements, and social media posts about the dangers of eating Tide Pods. They put these posts into memes and GIFs. They also urged parents to prevent their teenagers from eating the packets by posting a blog written by the CEO, David Taylor. And they also posted a video of Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, a spokesperson for Tide, urging people not to consume the packets. They ended up posting this video on live TV and social media. So, crisis communication theory. I believe Procter & Gamble followed the corrective action image. They did not apologize, but instead they used social media as a guide to show how stupid this challenge can be. They used memes and GIFs in order for teenagers and kids to kind of better understand in their own language how dangerous this can be. They also recruited peer-level influencers like the Patriots tight end Rob and helped creating the ads for the dangers of Tide Pods. And they made sure not to apologize for anything. They made it clear that this was not their mistake, but in order to fix this trend, they made sure to step up to the plate and take action immediately. There were also more videos that were posted against the Tide Pod Challenge than there were for it, mostly parents and alike posting these challenges for their kids to see. How did the Tide Pod Challenge end? Well, like anything, social media trends come and go. So new trends started, leading to the end of the Tide Pod Challenge. And this made us more aware of how dangerous social media can be. Social media can have good influences, such as the ASL Ice Bucket Challenge that happened a few years ago that raised millions of dollars for a great cause. But when it comes to things like this doesn't do anything for anyone. We also came to realize that kids do have a fear of missing out. When they see things like this or they hear their friends doing things, they feel like that means that they must do it too. No legal action was actually ever taken against Procter & Gamble, which makes sense because it was not their fault. But someone could still easily come and say, oh, well, these Tide Pods were made to look like snacks. However, this brings us back to the consumers, especially teens, having responsibility of their own choices and behaviors. When this trend started, there was actually a post by USA Today that headlined accurately, "Teens are putting detergent pods in their mouth and posting videos online." Well, the very next day, the Independent ran their take and said, "Teenagers are risking death to film themselves eating Tide Pods." When Unilad picked up the story the next day, it became hundreds of teenagers poisoned by Tide Pod Challenge. Really, there were only 86 confirmed reports of kids eating Tide Pods. So that just shows how crazy social media can be and how we really need to take a look at what we're seeing online and think more critically about the information we find. Applying this to everyday work, well, I would say they did an amazing job at responding quickly and honestly. I think everyone should take a look at that, whether it is your fault or not. The best thing you can do is speak to your audience and let them know the full story. Make sure they understand what is really going on. Being in the medical field, emergencies happen every single day. You cannot wait for someone else to take action. You have to stand up to the plate and do it. Whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing, you have to get up there and save someone's life if it's in need. And that is the end of my slideshow. Thank you guys so much.